If you needed a reminder that investors still care about trade, today you got it. The market got the wind knocked out of it on a report that the first phase of a trade deal between the U.S. and China may not be completed by the end of the year. Uncertainty around trade also grew after the Senate passed a bill supporting the Hong Kong protesters. The House passed a similar bill tonight. And so today, the Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 112 points to 27,821. The Nasdaq was down 43, and the S&P 500 slipped 11. Bob Pisani takes a look at how a reported stall in trade talks stalled the market.
It was a rocky day of trading on Wall Street. Stocks starting the day lower, then taking a deeper plunge midday as trade fears, stop me if you've heard this, mounted once again. The Dow fell to session lows on a Reuters report citing trade sources saying phase one of a U.S.-China trade deal may not be completed this year and could slide into next year. This comes as Beijing presses for more extensive tariff rollbacks and as the White House still wants a deal that will address intellectual property, technology transfer issues, and the two sides can't seem to agree on this. If the market starts to believe that tech and intellectual property issues really are big conditions of a phase one deal, they might view that as a roadblock for getting any kind of bigger deal done at all. Any kind of deal we get could be little more than a kind of phase one light, meaning we get no new tariffs on December 15th. The existing tariffs remain in place, and maybe there's some agreement for the Chinese to buy agricultural goods. Phase one light, essentially. The worst case scenario would be no deal at all. Existing tariffs stay in place, and then maybe we get a heap of new tariffs coming in December. No surprise, we saw trade-sensitive names like materials and industrial tech, semis, all slipping. Apple was down more than 1%. Up until today, the market had been fairly complacent, frankly. It was a very narrow trading range the last few weeks. Low volatility, optimism, broad-based November rally, but the mood shifted a little bit today as investors try to figure out whether the markets can avoid some kind of sell-off going into 2020. For Nightly Business Report, I'm Bob Pisani at the New York Stock Exchange.